I love the night. I like the nighttime shot. It's just so.
Need an LED sponsor for those.
Yeah. This weekend, Todd Morey, driver of the Wicked monster truck, will be representing Veedverks and American Medical Refugees on his truck on Saturday, February 10th at Casper, Wyoming, the toughest monster truck tour.
That's correct.
I believe. And
you don't even need me.
That's
truck,
awesome.
Look at you
the
go.
truck is wicked.
He's just got to get in the truck and drive.
Yeah. And you're one of the only. How many drivers have ever landed a backflip in a monster truck?
There's been a few. There's been quite a few. But it's an exciting thing when you get to do it. For your first time. So
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
We have to do that last year a couple times. I had 2 backflips and 2 back flops. So this is in Red Bluff, California.
Oh, okay.
It was my first time there at that particular venue. Packed house, a lot of people there. It was a great time. So
well, you're catching some air.
Well, that's a little air. I mean, there's some other footage where you can jump 25, 30 feet in the air with these trucks.
Ugh.
But I couldn't hit too much too quick because the goal here was to I don't want to break it ahead of time. Correct.
Oh, gotcha. And so the name of the truck is jacked up.
So this truck is jacked up. This is my body I'm driving the same truck this weekend. It's just a different body.
And so what are you doing? What are you doing here?
So I'm lining up.
Okay, you're lining up.
So I pull up to the concrete backflip ramp, and then get it lined up, and didn't want to go too fast, but then right here you floor it.
Whoa! That's terrifying.
Yeah.
The first time, I can't even imagine that. Like the first time you did that,
it's mind over
matter.
matter.
That's awesome.
Obviously you don't want to. You're running straight into a block wall. You don't want to do that, but you realize that your predecessors and people now are doing it weekly. People are doing it all over the place. So you just say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. So,
in our home state of Oklahoma, the doctors told us that our son was going to die. That the pharmaceuticals had caused organ damage. That if the seizures didn't take our son first, that he would die within 2 years. And if we wouldn't have moved Austin to Colorado, we would not have Austin now. And it was so heartbreaking to know that while my husband was a fireman in Oklahoma, he couldn't legally administer this medicine in Oklahoma. He would have been a felon. But Austin's very first cannabis in Colorado, my husband legally administered as a firefighter because we were one state away. And that's when it really hit us that, this is America. Every parent should have whatever access is needed to help their child. Every veteran who has fought for this country should have the right to choose what they consume.
And that's something that Travis and I have talked a lot about recently over the last couple of months is some ideas to get some veteran networks that we're tied in with you guys to help veterans with PTSD and all the things that they go through. I mean, they put their lives on the line for us overseas.
They give it all up,
and obviously some give all. But some come back without limbs, without with night terrors, with all kind of things they have to deal with, and
they're different people.
America should get behind them and say, how can we help you?
Yeah, whatever we have to do to help you.
Yeah.
Whatever
Let's
it
help
takes.
You guys and girls.
You fought because freedom is not free.
Right.
And
they're
paying the price, and the people before them, and our veterans, and our soldiers, men and women right now, and that's one of the aspects that I think is the biggest travesty in the prohibition and the war on drugs. How can you tell somebody that has fought for this country you cannot consume a plant that makes you feel better? You have to take these pills that give you suicidal and homicidal thoughts, and it's just a travesty, especially when literally we have the legal basis to completely remove cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act right now. Right now, there's enough scientific research, there's enough data, there's enough legislation on the books, there's enough American support that any elected official who tries to stop the legalization of cannabis really does not have American privilege and rights and constitutional rights at the forefront and is not worried about the citizens but their own agenda. And the pharmaceutical companies, of course, this is not something they want to see happen. But ultimately, in the end, this is America, and we should get to choose what we consume. Yeah. And especially if you have somebody that has a chronic or terminal illness or is fighting PTSD or cancer or seizures, there's no time to waste on legislation and law. You're fighting for your life.
I can't tell you the amount of videos that I've watched of people suffering, and within 15 seconds. I mean, I had some the Amelia cream that you had sent me, and my wife's aunt has arthritis in her hands, and she complained about it, and I went, I'll be right back.
Yes, let's try this.
Pumped it on there, and 13 seconds.
The pain was gone. The tingling was gone. Yep. Ignorance is no longer an excuse. You can
You've
Google.
Got the internet. You've got Google.
Everybody. I literally. Where's the marker?
Yeah.
Where's the marker? And I just
Google it.
May I? There we go.
I don't know what you're doing.
You know what exactly? When I posted this August before last, and in the first three or 4 months, it hit 10 million views from my private Facebook, and it was at that point this patent became the most Googled patent in history. But you Google this number up, and it's the patent number that the United States government has, cannabinoids as neuroprotectants, that proves cannabis is not only medicinal, but it's non-toxic and non-lethal. It is in there. And it's a patent that was approved by our United States government, and it's a patent that they sold the proprietary rights to a pharmaceutical company. Therefore, no American citizen should have any kind of legal ramifications for consuming the cannabis plant. If you have a non-violent cannabis consumer or patient, they shouldn't be fined. They certainly should not be jailed with criminals.
You've got the internet.
You've got the internet.
Just
you can Google it up.
Just
Google up
it.
those 7 little numbers.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot.
You can learn a lot. You can learn how to save your life. And that's a fact.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe that.
So the plight of the American medical refugee is you start off in a prohibitionist state. You have to make the choice as a parent, for example, in your case, to stay where you have a job and you have all your family and friends, but you don't have the everything.
Your roots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And move here to save your own life or your kids, but once you're here, you can't leave and take your medicine with you.
Yeah, we're trapped.
You're trapped here.
We're trapped.
This is the island of Colorado. Welcome to the island.
Yeah, welcome to the island that saved our son and so many others. I mean, so many others.
How many? I mean, do you guys have a number? How many?
We have over 300 families just in AMR. Not everybody that moves to Colorado for medicine is a part of our nonprofit or a part of our support group, but we know personally over 2,000 people. Right. And a lot of these people, one of the platforms for American medical refugees, we help with job placement, and we also help with legislative action in their home state or country. We actually had in Ireland, Yvonne Callahan and her son Tristan came. They were able to go back to Ireland. They've been able to change legislation so that his medicine is acceptable in Ireland. Wow. And now, it's just working state by state. Because people don't want to give up everything and move here.
They shouldn't have to.
And they shouldn't have to.
Right.
You should never, nobody should have to move or relocate to help their child or their loved one. Cannabis stops our son's seizures.
Right.
And there's no editing. This is as real and as raw as it gets. Mm-hmm. And it hurts to watch it. Literally.
Then I'm going to turn it off.
and I didn't even, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who any of the kids were that I was watching. But.
Yeah.
So the race is in Wyoming. It's 4.5 hours from here, and when we first figured out that the sponsorship was going to work, then we started talking among the community about loading up a bus full of kids, right, and taking them. But we can't do that.
Can't do that because
we can't do it. We can't come see it.
The kids, they want to come so bad, and they can't. They can't. They're heartbroken because we literally started talking to parents. People were making plans, and then we get the conversation. It's like, well,
it's not.
Some of these kids have full plant medicine.
Yeah.
Some of these, your kid has THC. You can't.
Yeah.
So we can't take the kids to come see you.
So we're going to be working on that. That level.
So you're going to have to race in Colorado sometime.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up in April.
I hope that people seeing the patent number and American Medical Refugees on your truck, that it makes them go, wait a second. You know, let's educate. Let's find out the truth. Well, let's find out the truth.
It's we're supporting by way of decaling and having a discussion. You know, doing all we can to support a nonprofit organization that's helping families in Colorado. That's the way I look at it. To me, it's a no-brainer.
It's education. You guys, what you're doing, if you think about it, if one monster truck and one race car, and you know, if you get one educational element into these arenas, then very, very soon, every arena is going to have access to the truth about the plant. And more importantly, they're going to have the support, they're going to have the facts to be able to stand up against unjust laws and say no more prohibition, no more. We're going to have full access to this plant. We're going to fight the opioid epidemic, and we're going to literally let Americans have the rights that the Constitution allows. And you know, I don't know any parent, regardless of law, that wouldn't do absolutely everything for their child. And any legislator that votes against it really needs to be grateful that they don't have to face those fights.
Cool. That's going to be a winner.
If I could also get a couple shots of everyone in front of the blimp.
Oh, yeah.
Next time you guys need to do that before I cry.
I'm so sorry.